Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Bastila Shan from Star Wars. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright, but Bastila Shan? I don't know. It was a request. So I'm trying to do something dynamic with this one. Doing a little crazy, a little, let's see, you gotta make sure there's enough room for the lightsaber too. Well, just, yeah, exactly that. I don't know why I'm trying to come up with better words. A little dynamic, a little bit of fluid movement. That arm is way too long, so let's thin it up a little bit. I'm gonna put it right about there. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, so anyway, this is a request, so I don't know exactly how to say it, but chances are, neither do you. Like, doing the research, it's from a video game, right? Am I right? It looks like, yeah, because it's from a video game. Do they say her name in the game? I mean, I could be wrong, because it's Bastila, Shan, I don't know. But again, that's kind of the great thing. It's kind of like other stuff that we do that is never actually said, that I kind of get away with, well, you don't know how to say it. So I kind of take advantage of that and say, well, then we're going to say it however we want, right? Do with this one. So I'm going to stick out here. I don't want it bent. I want it bent a little bit. Let's bend that leg. Something like that. But yeah, I chose a kind of a fluid movement or a fluid pose because I want it to look like she's fighting, right? Like she's in a fighting stance. So I chose a pose that she's, you know. But again, also I like the fact that because it's a video game character, because is it based on somebody? Like, taking, for example, what is the other ones I've already done. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, where they used actors and actresses to portray the role, you know, like that they what did they call they film motion capture. That they did the motion capture. See, I'm not good with words at all. But the motion capture actors and actresses that they used, which I say they should go ahead and use for some movies, some Disney Plus shows, if you know what I mean. You've got the actors and actresses. They look just like the part because they already played it. I don't know whether this was really someone or it was just made up, you know. So anyway, the point is, I'm taking I'm using that to my advantage. That the fact that we don't know, and I can make it up, you know. I can say, well, that works for my what do I say? My, what do you call it? Cosplay person. because I always say that I'm no good at drawing likenesses. I draw cosplay people that look like they're dressed as these characters, right? So yeah, so that works to my advantage, that I'm saying that it doesn't have to look exactly like her, right? Because again, it's a video game. Is there anything too crazy? No, it just looks like costume. I was trying to see if there's anything specific, like gauntlets, things like that, but again, therein lies the greatness of video game characters, is they reduce the amount of things that they put on them, because that's more render time and stuff like that, so they make them very, very minimal, if not baking them into the color. And what they do there is actually, I've got a small degree in 3D animation, that a lot of times they'll put depth inside the color by using, what do you call it? Oh my gosh, this is why I only have a degree and I'm not using it. They use texture mapping, I guess is the best thing I'm going to say. Let's just leave it at that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, I do, but I'm not going to try to impress you with my my minimal 3D knowledge. Let's just see if we can get this done, right? It's like, just be quiet, old man. Be quiet and draw. I get it. I get it. Alright, so that's all I'm going to need for the lightsaber, is that line right there, because that's just going to tell me where I'm going to place it, right? And it's perfect for my quick sketch. So let me draw some details in the face real quick, just to try to capture some kind of nice little pretty face. Because again, it's 100% made up. So no one can really say I'm wrong, but I want to try to get it right. I want to try to make it look nice. Okay, so sorry if I got quiet, but sometimes that happens when I'm starting to concentrate. So I want to make sure I get this right. Does she have some braids? Okay, some stuff hanging down. So we'll just do like some hair hanging down like that. And that's also the kind of the downside to these video game designs is again, they, like I was saying, they make it very minimal. And so, you know, where it could be more dynamic hair and stuff flowing around, they keep it simple, keep it flat, keep it, you know, tight to the body, so there's not a lot of things I have to draw flowing out, you know? I get it. Okay, and that's it. Like I said, she's got like a little bit of a ponytail in the back. I could draw it out something like this, maybe, like it's flying, but, you know, there's two, so maybe we'll do one out like this. But it's almost like we need the other one as well, you know? I think that's good. I think that's good enough for the sketch. So let's go ahead and erase some of these sketch lines and get going. What I want to do is I want to make sure that my Sharpie stands out, not these pencil lines. So the first few lines I put down, those are my placement lines. It was just light sketching. So those are my sketch lines. And as I got more confident, I pressed harder. And those are my confidence lines. So to make this disappear, I'm just lightly erasing, and the sketch lines will disappear, while the confidence lines, they take more pressure. So they're going to stick around longer, and I'm going to use those to guide me. And that's how I'm going to follow my sketch, and that's how you follow your life. You get rid of your sketchiness, you keep your confidence. You'll be so happy, and everything's going to work out, and I believe in you. Alright, I think we're ready to go. I can see enough to keep me going, but enough has disappeared that it won't stand out over the Sharpies. So I say we welcome all the skippers and get going. Welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. So I'm just going to jump right in. And if you want to see more Star Wars, check out that playlist right there. But I'm just going to jump right in with the drawing and just get going. So I'm going to draw the top of the lids, something like this. And I've got her kind of in a furrowed brow, kind of a fighting stance, right? So I'm going to draw the color part, the retina, something like this, real tiny. And that's all you can see, because like I said, I've got her head tilted just a little bit. So for the pupil, I'm just going to barely dab it like that, because A, this is too small to add those kind of details, and B, this is going to bleed if I do that. So for the eye, I'm going to come back to the bottom of the eye. I'm going to come back in like that, just a little bit. Same thing over here, just a little bit, just to imply that there is a bottom of the eye, and now let the color take care of the rest. And I'm going to try, this is so tiny, I don't know if I can pull this off. I'm going to try to thicken up the eyelash right here, just this top corner, just to add a little bit of depth and pretty eyelash. Not really so much pretty, but just a thick eyelash to, you know, show off the features that she has in her face. I think that's good right there. I don't want to go any further because I don't want to make it bleed too much. And so now, like I said, I've got her in kind of a scowl, kind of a fighting stance. You know, kind of a furrowed brow type kind of thing. So all I can really do for the bridge of the nose is just kind of come down like this. That's it. Anything else is going to be too much because it doesn't have a hard edge. I just wanted to give you a little bit of something. And so now for the nose, I'm going to just come in here and do this. Again, that's all I can really do. I want to draw the bulb and all that stuff, but it doesn't have that hard of an edge, and again, we're too small with our drawing here, so I'm just going to keep it like this and just build off of this. So for her mouth, I'm just going to kind of do something like that. I can try to draw a bit of a top lip, but again, it's so tiny it's hard to do. A bit more for the bottom lip. And I think that's it. That's it. That's all I want to do. So for her chin, I'm going to come in here and do this. Then I'm going to start drawing her jaw. And as you see too, I'm thickening up some of my lines because A, it helps me hide a couple of crooked little shapes that I have here. But when I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line widths. So I try to match kind of where it's going to go. Now I have some hair flying out a little bit, so I'm going to draw some of those strands before I accidentally draw through them. So for her hair, I'm going to have, it's all pulled back, but some of them are kind of falling down. I'm going to kind of do like this. Alright, and see, that's what I want to make sure that I don't accidentally draw through something like that. Same thing over here. We're just going to come down, do something like that. We're going to say it's all pulled back in our hairline right there. Same thing over here, is a couple more coming down. We'll say that this is coming down like this. So even more so that I don't want to draw through there. Okay, and there you go. So now I've got my edges that I can draw to. Start, stop points, that's what I call them. It tells me where I can start and where I can stop and not draw through the hair. And if you draw through the hair, it's no big deal. I like to keep it consistent, that it's, you know, what's on top and what's on bottom. That's what I'm trying to go for here. So for her hair, like I said, it's pulled back. A lot of it is like hanging over her ears and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say you can't really see them. We'll do a couple of more hairs like that, just kind of hanging down. The rest is pulled back. So for her hair, I'm just kind of guiding it like, okay, I want it to do like this. This is where it's being pulled back. Like there's the shape and the placement. That's kind of what I'm going for. Then I can add more edges here, like the back of her head. Right? Now, again, you don't have to do this. I'm going to thicken up some of my edges here. Especially if you're working with pencil. If you're working with pencil, you probably don't want to do this at all. But I'm just explaining to you why I draw, how I draw. Here's pulled back in some kind of little bun type thing. And it's going back. Something like that. Okay, but that's all we can see. So does that make sense? It's like in a ponytail and flowing back behind the head. So we can only see where it goes back that way. And that's why I draw my lines out, kind of showing the flow of the hair, right? Now she does have some like ponytails, like it's going back into two giant little things. So we'll go ahead and draw just like one of them kind of sticking out like this. But they'll say that's all you can see. Like that. And the other one is, we'll say, because they're both dual like that, if they're moved like this one's behind the neck, this one's the one that's hanging out that you can see. So we kind of get away with a little bit of freedom by exploiting the position and angle that we're at. Okay, that's good. I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie. Now, I've got this hand in front of the body, so I can only draw so far down, but I'm going to come back up to the arm so you see where we are. So here's her neck, like this. Now, I know she's got a lot of cool design in the costume, so I'm going to try to do it, but it is a lot of cool design in the costume. But also, see the difference? See how thick these lines are? That's why I was trying to match something up there, just to kind of keep it consistent, because man, it is really, really thick. For being called a Sharpie fine point, there is nothing fine about it. I mean, it's too late now. Sharpie's a big company and that's what they're doing, but they really need to rethink their names. There's nothing fine about that point. Okay, so again, because it's her arm going up and a lot of design, I'm going to try to do some bumps and things like that just to show the spacing and the design. So forgive me if it's kind of spaced out, like, not spaced out, segmented, right? And I'll show you why. Segment up like that, that's her shoulder, coming down to her elbow, and it's a little foreshortened, so almost like this, this part is foreshortened, that's her shoulder, or her bicep, down to the elbow, right? So the elbow, I'm going to go ahead and start at the wrist so you see where we are. Like this, and like that. So see, it's a little bit, well, over itself, but foreshortened, so you only see so much. So see, bent at the elbow means that we only get so much material, you know? But, okay, so she's got a wrist thing there. But again, we're kind of limited into what we can draw just to show the shape of her hand being bent. So let me also draw the hand to you, so again you see why I'm drawing what I'm drawing. So I'm going to draw the back of her hand like this, and her glove kind of comes in like this. Here's the back. Maybe I should do these fingers in front first and then build my way back so you see where we are. Here's her hand, her pinky, her ring finger, and I've already sketched it out, so that's how I can kind of just basically trace around my drawing. So I'm not just drawing randomly and it's working out. I'm pretty much following my sketch. So see, and the thumb is behind the hand like this, so you can't really see it, okay? And let me draw a little bit of detail, because that's the one thing about using these kind of Sharpies is sometimes it gets a little thick, you know? Okay. But there, okay, so see, now that I drew what's in front, I can draw what's behind and not accidentally draw through all that stuff. So, that being said, close one of these out. I need to try to figure out how to draw all the stuff in her costume as awesome as it is. So this has a piece, comes up like this. You can't really see it there. Most of it's covered up by her hand anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But I am going to try to get it to look right. I can close that off now that you can see it. Her shoulder is over here, and let's draw her I guess the other shoulder so you can see where we are, how she's kind of slouched over a little bit. So this one, it's coming through. You can't see as much anyway here. And come down and then draw that little shoulder platform like we did there. And again, it's going to come up under the hand, which again, you don't see as much. Okay, and I think the rest is all underneath there. So let's draw her her like, it's like a neck piece. Here, let me add some detail on a neck piece too, because it's got some very cool patterns on it. Same thing with this. This has got a really cool pattern on it that I kind of want to get as much as I can to make it look, and unfortunately it's all coming to a really cool point right there, but you can't see it, you know. So let's just go ahead and show a little bit more of it, because it comes down here this way. This almost kind of flows through, comes down and does something like this, just to kind of flow back up. All right, and that's her neck piece. There you go. I'm not going to do too much because I don't want to make it too busy, but that's where that's going to be. So all this is like one continuous piece too, so maybe I should draw her waist so you see where we are, because I do have her kind of bent. Let's do that. Let's draw her waist. So I've got her rib cage like this into her hip, bent like this. This one is more elongated, so that's where her belt is going to be. So let me draw the other side of the belt. Like I said, more elongated from the twist of her waist. You can draw around her breast like that, coming up and into basically her armpit, because that's one piece. But this is also going to help us with the flow of the piece that's hanging down right there. But more than anything, I just wanted you to see the turn of the body, how she's twisting for the action pose. And oh yeah, and this line right here is like another, it's like a separate sleeve kind of thing. So I'm going to do her arm out here, draw that little short sleeve, come back in like this, and then draw the rest of the arm to the forearm, or the gauntlet like that. All right, so I'm going to draw the rest of her bicep to her elbow, coming into like this, and then there's going to be the gauntlet. All right. Now, again, this is all cloth. So I'm just kind of, it looks like she's got some kind of bend in it like that, some kind of material crease, or not material crease, material design that is kind of also separating our segmented part, right? So that helps. That helps. Now this hand, you're going to see the back of it like that. So that's all you're really seeing is, because this is our lightsaber, all you're seeing is the shape of it like this. No digits or anything, just basically the knuckles that are holding it all together. So I'm going to draw her forearm down. Here's the other side, so you get the shape of it, you get the feel for it. And it's got that little extendo part right there. I'm going to add that to the back of the hand. So I can draw her thumb like this, her knuckles to her finger wrapped around, and then we're going to go ahead and just draw around the lightsaber like that. So see, she's holding it like this, or like that, I guess, right? But you can't see. I'm trying to not show you my fingers. And that's all we're worried about for that. Now, lightsaber time. Off. I've drawn a straight line with a ruler, so I know where I'm going to go with this, right? So for her lightsaber, I'll go ahead and do it with the big Sharpie and then add small details. I'm following that line, basically. So I'm making it up. I'm kind of going by what she has, but I'm also making it up. But just, again, following the straight edge as much as I can to try to make it look like one complete piece. Because I want it to look steady. I don't want like the handle to be like that, then the blade to be off like this. You know, I want to try to keep it consistent. So that's why I always come in and draw a straight line. Now see how that kind of comes out like that? That kind of ruins the flow. I can fix it. Now, for lightsabers, I like to draw and pick up, draw and pick up. And what I mean by that is, I don't want a hard edge. I don't want it to look like it has any hard edge to it. Because like I said, it's a lightsaber. You know, it's supposed to be light. It doesn't have a full side edge like this. So I like to do that. So what I'm going to do is show you. I'm going to draw, pick up, draw, and pick up. I'd like to do the explosion like that first, then draw along my sketch so I'm following my line. Okay? Draw, pick up. Draw a little bit, pick up. Draw a little bit, come back, pick up, but not in the same spots. I'm gonna kind of leave it open, because ideally we want it to look like it's a light. You know, it's not a hard edge like the cloth or skin or something. It's made out of light. So same thing. I like to do the big explosion, like it's coming out, you know. And usually around the top, I usually kind of keep it consistent, like one solid line. I do the edge like that. But I try not to do the same thing going back. Like, try to keep it in different spots. There you go. That'll work. All right. So same thing. Extra stuff. Now, her design has like this piece that's hanging off, but it looks like it's part of the shirt there, but hanging off there. Again, the downside to a video game character is it's not a real piece. So we're just gonna say that it's the cloth, right? It's not painted on the material, right? So I want to go ahead and do it with the hard edge, the big Sharpie, to make it consistent with the rest of the flow. So I'm going to draw down and follow the shape of her breast so you can see the curvature. And it helps to draw them without drawing a line underneath lines. You know, that's the downside to a lot of people drawing it like that is they want to draw the shape of the breast, and you don't really see it, you know, not unless it's like some kind of bikini or skin tight something. So it's really unnecessary. So you can kind of do stuff like this just to accent the curves, you know. Let me draw her belt before I go further, because I don't know where it's going to stop and I don't want to draw through it. So I want the belt, according to my sketch, somewhere down here like this, and it's going to come over here, go up, do this over here. It's got some packs on it, you know, the little juice packs like we always do, where they keep their snacks and their to-go juices and stuff like that, the little chicken nuggets. Okay, so now I've got stop points, so now I can keep going. I know where it's going to be. There are some other lines. I'll wait to do this. You know what? Let's just draw the whole thing real quick so you can do that right now. It flows down here, so I'm going to have it kind of moving like as if it's coming down here, moving with her, right? With her body, because she's in a fight stance, so it's kind of flexing. Does that make sense? So there are some cool lines in it that they just look really neat the way they're doing them. I can't really show them to you here because the way they flow, it doesn't really make sense by the way this is. So I'm just going to draw some lines just to flow up and just to kind of accent the whole thing. See, I'm going to have to do some anyway for the flow of the whole thing. So that's why I was saying it doesn't make sense to kind of do it the way they do, because you wouldn't really see it at this angle. But it looks good. I like it. It's really awesome. I'll say this. I didn't know anything about this character when someone requested it, but I like it a lot. right. Oh, let me add some tiny detail while we can. I like adding material lines, like you know, she's bending, so we can add some creases. Let's add a detail in her belt. We're going to add like a little buckle. Oh, that kind of goes through there. Oops. That looks good. We'll leave that like it is. I'm going to add an edge to this just to give it some life. You know, make it used, worn, movable. Okay, and she does have a couple more hanging off here that I guess they're hanging off her belt. So we're going to say one is going back behind her leg like that. So now I'm going to draw her leg. Trust me, it's going to make sense in a second. So this is going to go here, then go back behind the leg. So see, it does flow on the leg, but it looked like I scalloped the leg right there. That's why I wanted to show you what I was doing. I'm going to come in from the inner thigh like this to the boot, like that. And let's draw this as hanging down. So it's going down like this. Oops. I keep drawing it bumpier and bumpier as I go up. Going to come down, do like this. Okay. And then this one I'm going to have flowing out a little bit. So let me draw her leg, and then I can draw the flow. So I can draw her thigh like this. Here's her knee into the boot. Back up there, but you don't see where it connects here because of that thing. Now this one I'm going to have flowing out. So we're going to do something like this. And there you go. So see, we got a little bit of movement with that cloth. We're adding just a little bit of design or movement with the pacing, the shape of the way I've got it flowing, right? Okay, and so same thing, her pants are kind of, she's stretched out. I'm not too worried about lines. I'll just do something like this, like maybe there's a little bit of crease like that. Nothing too much, because you can't really see much anyway, you know? So I'm not too worried about it, but I will add like maybe a knee line, maybe some cloth wrinkles right around here. Because usually like where it's tucked into the boot and stuff like that, that's where I like to add stress. Okay, so now I just gotta add some boots. Nothing too crazy, just some space boots. Do the back real fast too. Come down for the front of the foot. A little bit pointy, but that's okay. That's all right, I can fix that. Let me just round this off just a little bit. So see, even I make mistakes. Nothing is perfect. That's perfectly fine. That's the only perfect it's going to be. Perfectly fine. There we go. I like to add a little bit of bends in the boot. And this one's pointed out because of the stance. It's the front of the foot. This is kind of a pointed toe, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of that, what do we call it? Tread, I guess. And there you go. So I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Bastila Shan from Star Wars. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.